Well, I sure hope you guys aren't tired of seeing videos on sulfur percentages in your antique muzzle loading propellant, because that's what this video is about. But this one is lower sulfur, where the most recent videos and experiments we've been doing are with higher sulfur ratios. So this stuff is 77-15-8. So a 20% reduction in sulfur from our standard 77-13-10. Now, I made this stuff a few months ago when we were still using the PVC ball mill containers, and I milled it for 24 hours. Now, we have done some extensive testing on our new mill since we've switched to the Rebel 17 container, which has pretty much cut our mill time in half. So even though you might see it's milled for 48 hours, we get the same performance in everything we've tried, which has been more than a few powders, in half the time. So even though it might look like, oh, well, you milled it twice as long. Yeah, but with the new mill that we're running now at 24 hours, it's basically the same. Anyway, so with our previous videos of 76-12-12 and 76-13-11, we've had some pretty interesting results. Basically, what we have seen in our testing is in a shorter barreled firearm, pistol, revolver, it's the same, if not just a tad bit better. But the longer the barrel gets, the less velocity you'll see compared to 3F Swiss. In case you're new here, we compare all of our powders to Swiss. That way it makes it difficult. If you're comparing your powders to Goex or Schutzen, you shouldn't have too much trouble beating the snot out of those guys every time. Most of the time anyway. Unless you're using like coffee grounds or something for carbon. Speaking of which, the carbon source, or charcoal, if you will, for this powder is Osage Orange, which I've been doing most of my powders with because it's an excellent charcoal. It's very powerful. It's not the cleanest, but it's very powerful. So the firearms we're using for this test are my Uberti New Model Army with a Taylor's & Company 45 Colt conversion. My Cimarron, or Uberti, it's made by Uberti. 1866 Yellow Boy in 45 Colt with a 24-inch barrel, and my Kibler Southern Mountain Rifle in 45 caliber. Now, the 45 Colt loads in both the pistol and the rifle are 25 grains of 3F with a card wad, a lubed felt wad, another card wad, and a 250 grain projectile. The last video we tested of this, I did not have any 250s. I was using 200s. So not exactly an apples to apples comparison to that stuff. But I do have the same cartridges, 45 Colt, assembled the same way with 25 grains of 3F Swiss as a control. In the Kibler Southern Mountain Rifle, we use 50 grains of 3F with a 20 thousandths pillow ticking patch and a 440 diameter swaged Hornady ball. And all the shots are primed with the same powder they are charged with. So here is the 77-15-8 low sulfur powder. Okay, so we have our Remington New Model Army with our conversion cylinder with 45 Colt, 25 grains of 3F Swiss, a card wad, a lubed felt wad, another card wad, and a 250 grain lead round nose projectile. We'll just get some baseline numbers to see how it does. .833.
Wow.
I think that hits way high.
Yeah?
Yeah, like I think I just have it on the edge of a cardboard.
I think I see that. I think I see that.
Maybe I'll
bring her down some.
You know what I'm going to do?
Huh.
I'm going to aim at the old card underneath it, okay?
Okay. I think that went right through it.
.835.
I'm pretty sure that was a solid hit. Keep doing that. Yeah.
779. . 827. 841. 813.
All right, so what's our average?
That averaged 821.
Okay.
And doesn't feel too bad. I have no idea where any of those went, so let's go have a look.
They actually don't look too bad. I'm pretty sure that second round went right through the card.
Okay, that pin came out nice and easy.
Good.
So we'll have a look at this thing in a second. Let's go look at that. I hope some of those at least got in frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And then that one right there up top.
Oh yeah, that was the first one I saw up there.
Yeah, that was our first shot.
Yep. Oh, I don't have a Sharpie on me. Let me mark those. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to draw a star or something right there, so maybe I can, because I'm putting them down here.
Yeah, that's
So let me mark those and we'll try the other ones.
okay.
Yeah, I drew a square underneath that there, so hopefully I'll get at least a few of them on there. Okay, so this is 25 grains of our 77-15-8 low sulfur powder with a card wad, a lubed felt wad, another card wad, and a 250 grain projectile. So let's see how it does. .704.
Oh.
726.
100 feet slower.
725. 712.
Yeah.
725. 708.
Well,
That averaged 717.
that's 100 feet per second.
That is
slower.
100 foot per second slower.
I'm telling you, man.
Whoa.
Got to have at least 10% sulfur.
Well, I wonder how it'll do in the rifle, because it would be a real trip if it was maybe not faster, but not that dramatic of a loss in a rifle.
Yeah,
because that's kind of what we saw the other way around with high sulfur. Was it's actually just a tad bit faster in this,
Yeah.
but in the rifle it lost what 70 feet per second or something.
Yeah, I think so. It was,
So,
it was like 75 or 74.
Yeah, that was not very impressive. Like at all.
Yeah.
Still not horrible. That pin came out okay.
All right.
You see it in there?
I'm trying to get it. Ah, there we go. Just got to get a reflection.
Really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
I have to take side-by-sides, of that versus the Swiss, but I mean, I guess that might look a tad bit dirtier, maybe. Maybe.
Card.
Oh, okay, well.
Still not exactly a great group.
No, not at all, I suppose. But, if that was the first one. No, not any better. Just in a different spot.
Yeah. You just happened to land one on the card this time.
Yeah, well. Okay, now, are we going to see a loss in the rifle?
I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, here comes Sasquatch.
Oh, no!
All right. So we've got our 1866 loaded with our 45 Colt with 25 grains of 3F Swiss, the same card wad, felt wad, card wad, and a 250 grain projectile. And let's see. That's a 6 of
Clubs.
Okay. $1,081.
All right.
$1,063. $1,045. $1,042. $1,023. $1,063. I have one more of those for some reason.
I don't know, do you?
Why do I have one more of those for some reason? That bag does say Swiss on it, right?
Swiss.
Okay.
250 grainer, 25 grain.
Okay, that's just making sure. I thought I only had 12, but that's all right. It came out of the bag marked Swiss.
Okay. Well, the numbers are, you know.
1,060. Okay. I don't know how I had 7, but that's okay.
That's all right. Just another data point.
1,054.3.
Okay. Put the flashlight in there. Put that up at the lens. Oh. All right. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Greasy.
All right.
Little fouling chunks in there, but nothing too horrible.
That's all right. Well, we're gonna patch down it real quick. Let's have a look at the target.
Yeah.
I don't know about that first one there. That might have been I think that was the first one.
Yeah, it was.
Oh boy, all those look pretty good right there.
Yeah, look at that. And 7.
Yeah.
That's a good one right there.
Too bad. So this is 45 Colt with 25 grains of our 77-15-8 with a card wad, lube felt wad, another card wad, and a 250 grain lead round nose flat point. And let's see here. $976. $974. $985. $981. I think I yanked that one. $930. $953. Yeah. 966.9.
Yep, I was right.
Okay, so with this stuff being low sulfur, we're 100 foot per second slower in the revolver and 100 foot per second slower in this.
Yep.
Huh.
I called it.
Wow. Interesting. Well, okay, I guess interesting. If there's somebody new watching this, they're probably going, well,
yeah.
But the reason why we wanted to test this was because with our high sulfur tests in the same rifle, it was the same in a revolver.
And it was slower.
And it was slower in this.
Yep.
Where this is just slower across the board.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's see if it's any cleaner. It most certainly is empty.
Okay. The opposite of full. Empty.
I don't know. I don't know if that looks any different.
Move that flashlight a little. There we go. I don't Boy, that,
I don't know
that
if it
looks
looks
just
any,
the same.
Yeah, I don't know if it looks any different. It might look exactly the same. Yeah, it's got lube coming out of the end. That's a good sign.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go have a look.
Hey, you know what? I bet you put...
There's more right through there.
Yeah.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I guess, through there.
Yeah, I bet.
But yeah, besides having that one tall one up there, I'd say that's pretty much the same.
Yep.
Actually, maybe even a little bit better. I don't have a flyer as bad, which I'm sure is me. There was one I yanked. I knew it.
I'm pretty sure
I don't
that's
know if
that
that
top
was it
one
or
right
not.
there.
But okay, well that's what I would expect to see.
Yeah.
That's what I would expect to see.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah, because if it's slower in a rifle, if it's slower in a revolver or a pistol, whether it's cap and ball or cartridge, it's going to be slower in a rifle. That's what was so weird about the higher sulfur stuff that we tested.
Yeah.
Is it was actually a little bit faster. Not by a lot. I would call it practically the same. But then in a rifle, the longer the barrel got, within reason, it got slower. Where this stuff was 100 foot per second slower in the revolver, 100 foot per second slower in the rifle.
Yep, across the board.
Across the board. So at least that is what I would consider to be normal.
Yeah, that is to be expected.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Derek. So the 8 of clubs, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, so here's shot number 1 with 50 grains of our 77-15-8 Osage Orange powder. Yeah, that was good. 1843.
Okay.
Okay.
That's not bad.
No, that's
good.
That's just wait. Shot number 2 with the 77-15-8. 1800.
Okay.
Okay. Shot number 3. $17.99.
Okay.
0.9. You could probably call that 1800. $17.99.9.
Okay.
And you know, this stuff, it's not even hanging really bad.
No, it's not.
Okay, so here's what I'm noticing right off is it might look cleaner, but the fouling isn't as soft.
Yeah. It's crunchy.
It looks better than the Swiss, but I mean it has like crunchies. Yeah. Even when I was loading the last couple shots, it's like, yeah, that's a little crunchy.
Yeah.
So it does not have what I would consider to be soft fouling.
Yeah. Quote, cleaner.
Well,
yeah. There we go.
Now I'm bringing it up. Okay, yeah, look at the crunchies.
Yeah, that's why with the first patch you didn't bring anything up, because
loosening them up. Yeah, look at that.
All the fouling's stuck into the.
Yeah, it's hard fouling.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dang! Look at that.
Hard.
Whoa.
Fouling. Hard fouling.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
well, the lower the sulfur, it's not burning as hot.
It's not burning as hot, so you got more fouling. Maybe unburned.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe not fouling, but it could literally be unburned powder.
It's fouling.
Okay.
It's fouling, but it's hard.
Yeah, it's crustier.
Like with the AN powder, that's one of the things I think is so bitching about the AN powder is the fouling is just buttery soft.
Yep.
It's super clean. It's bitchin' powder. Whether or not you are of the opinion that it's black powder. If you do call it a substitute, it's better than any substitute out there.
I don't know if you could call it. I wouldn't call it a substitute.
I wouldn't either.
I would call it modified.
Okay. Or hybrid, like with the R7 powder.
Yeah. Yeah,
The
maybe.
the 5% R7 powder I was calling hybrid powder.
Well, yeah, because it is.
Well,
You know, it's a mix of.
it's got 5% worth of smokeless in there.
Yeah,
I think that
definitely
that
qualifies
probably
as hybrid.
qualifies. It'll be interesting to see what the good old 75 15 10 does.
Yeah.
Because that, and I have that stuff made up. I have 78 12 10 and 75 15 10 Osage made up, ready to go.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, you know, all of this ratio stuff, and you know, and we've done this for years. You know, what ratio is best, and you know, and blah blah blah. And
That was like one of the first things we started with.
right, which is why we settled on the 77 13 10.
Mm-hmm.
But when we do it, I'll bring all of it. We'll have 77 13 10, we'll have the 75 15 10, and we'll have the 76 78 12 10.
Yeah.
And we'll just test them all and just see what we get.
Okay.
Because what I bet, if I can hypothesize, in a pistol might not be any noticeable difference. It'd probably all be about the same. But in the rifle, it wouldn't surprise me if the fatter, more fuel-rich ratio of 75 15 10 gave a little bit higher velocity. That's what I'm expecting to see.
Think so? We'll see.
Yeah, I guess.
We'll see.
That's my theory anyway.
All right.
So there.
All right.
So we definitely had some lower velocities in both the pistol and the 1866 rifle with the 77-15-8. So the 3F Swiss load in the conversion new model Army ran 821 with a max spread of 61, where our 77-15-10 had an average of 717 with a max spread of 22. That's a solid 100 foot per second slower. In the 1866 rifle with Swiss, we had an average of 1054 with a max spread of 58. With the 77-15-8 loads, we saw an average of 966 with a max spread of 54.5, which I believe is about 88 feet per second slower. So not what we saw at all with the high sulfur powders. Because with the high sulfur powders, the pistols would have been neck and neck. In the Kibler Southern Mountain Rifle. Oh, and by the way, what we've started doing is getting some baseline numbers with 3F Swiss in the rifle every time we go out, just because it can change. And if we're doing it in everything else, we might as well do it in that too. Now, we did film it, but just so I can try to keep my videos under 35 minutes from now on, I'm not going to bother showing it to you. It shoots just as good, it's just as clean, and it's just as consistent as usual. In this case, on this particular day, it happened to give us an average velocity of 1869.4 with a max spread of 29, where our 77-15-8 powder saw an average velocity of 1814 with a max spread of 43. So no matter how you slice it, this stuff is not as energetic. Now, it might get a little bit closer the longer the barrel gets, with the Kibler Southern Mountain Rifle, that is. But still, no matter how you slice it, it is not as energetic. Whether it's in a pistol, a carbine, or a long rifle like my flintlock. Which again is pretty interesting because it's not exactly the opposite. Because it didn't get faster with a longer barrel. But I think it just goes to show that sulfur is an important ingredient in antique muzzleloading propellant. And like Derek and I were saying, I don't know if it'll end up in the video. We might have just cut it, just again to keep it under 35 minutes. We have pretty good luck keeping the sulfur right about 10% of the total mixture. That's what works well for us. We've tried it with a little bit higher. We've tried it a little bit lower. For example, the 76-12-12 and the 76-13-11, we did see about a 50-foot increase going from 12-12 to 13-11. So having some more fuel and a little less sulfur did gain us some velocity in the longer barreled weapon like the Kibler Southern Mountain Rifle, but it wasn't as clean. Now, this stuff was not as clean at all as the 76-12-12 in the Kibler Southern Mountain Rifle. That was the cleanest powder I have ever seen. It was not the fastest. It was 100 feet per second slower than Swiss, the 76-12-12 was. Where this stuff was only about 60 feet per second slower, but not nearly as clean. And the fouling was really hard, which I thought was kind of odd. Sulfur will lower the ignition temperature of your powder and also increase the temperature that it burns at. Now, our theory is having 10 or even 11% worth of sulfur is pretty appropriate for a flintlock. When you start lowering it, being that you're operating with a flintlock, sometimes it doesn't flash off very nice. It has a little bit of a hang. I didn't really notice that with this stuff being 8% sulfur. It shot very well, very accurate, pretty consistent, but I would rather, if it was me, run the 76-12-12. Cleaner burn in a rifle by leaps and bounds, just as consistent and just as accurate. So lowering the sulfur doesn't really gain you much as far as I see. So yeah, sulfur is important, and that's really why we decided to just keep it at 10% of the total mix, and that's what we've been running for a long time. Now, I have some 75-15-10, some 78-12-10, which a lot of people might know that supposedly that's what Swiss uses. I've heard three different things, because on Swiss's website, they say they use 75-15-10. In the Swiss document, as we call it, they say they use 78-12-10. And then on the Facebook page of theirs, they said they use 76-12-12. So who knows what they really run? But I have some made up of all of those ratios, including the one that we usually use, which is 77-13-10, all made up with Osage. So when it's not so bloody hot, we're going to take all those out to the field and test them. It's going to take all day. It's going to be a big, long, boring video that nobody cares about except black powder nerds. So hope you'll come along for that. So, as usual, folks, if you thought this video didn't suck, do me a favor and hit the like button. Consider subscribing. And if you did think it sucked, go make your own damn video.